Today's talk is how to regain your confidence after failure. Well, the first thing is to realize to move it from a negative experience and turning it into a positive experience, and know that we can grow and learn from it and be a better person, be better at business, have a better life from it, realizing that these failures can be a beautiful growth place to spring off from. And before I get into the main talk, if you're already subscribed, I thank you very much. I appreciate it a lot. It means a lot to me. And if you haven't, please hit the subscribe button. And on the way out, please hit the like button. And it'll be so kind of you to put a positive feedback on the bottom. Helps me get an understanding of what I can produce more for you, my followers. I appreciate it a lot. Now, we can come to the thing of failure as a bad thing, but we can break it down like I teach my kids, that when you go into a test, the test is going to teach you how much you know, where you are. The whole idea of a teacher giving you the test is for what? Is for the teacher to get a gauge of how much you know and what you've learned and understood. So it's a beautiful thing. Then the teacher knows, okay, we need to adjust this, we need to work on this. And I also go over with my kids and work out, okay, I'm very proud of you, what you did. Do you understand which questions you got wrong? What do we need to do so you understand it? Maybe there's a blockage that you don't know what they are. So we sit down and we go over them. Oh, that's not such a bad thing. We understand this, understand that now. So it's not about being perfect or getting 100%. It's about a gauge that this failure or past is actually a gauge of what you do know and what you need to work on more. So if we put this in perspective, so if we really harness the beautiful things about failure. I know it's a game that we have to constantly play in our mind. I know it's very, very valuable to me. And it's probably one of the most important things I have to keep playing in my mind. And it seems like a game, but you know what? If we keep hearing that thoughts, I know myself, I keep hearing that negative, we get like locked into a hole where we don't want to be. And we play this record around and around. I'm a failure, I'm no good at this. This broken record it just keeps you locked in. And guess what happens? From what I see and when I've worked with clients, it just keeps you unhappy, not where you want to be, doesn't allow you to reach your goals. So is there any point, I know myself, I'm like, whoa, hold on a minute. This is not going to get me where I want. It's not going to allow me to be free, allow me to let go of it. But I've got to use this failure as a way, as an indication of where I'm holding. So it's the most beautiful thing. So I can learn from it. So you can okay, these are my strong points and these are the points that I need to work on. Now, maybe in business you may realize that, hey, these points are not my strongest. Maybe I need to hire a coach, or maybe I need to get contracted out to somebody else. I try and do graphics. That's not within my realm. It's not something I really want to get into. So I have to hire it out to somebody else. I try and it looks really amateur. But I know within myself, that's just where I am. And I really don't have the energy or the patience to work on doing that. Same with programming, forget it. That's a whole different world for me. It's not saying I'm a failure, I have to get somebody else to do it. So I know that's just not for me. Who says another year, 2 years, it may be something that I want to achieve, but at the moment it's not. So I feel comfortable about it. And maybe the failures are things that we need to work on later on. Some of it may need to now. We have to work out what we can do. But the most important thing that I'd like to share with you, to express with you, that's been very, very beneficial for my constant growth and to help me be a better person, is realize failure is not a negative. Failure is totally an indication of where we are now and how we can grow and be a better person, how we can grow our businesses, how we can grow in relationships, how we can improve our health. All the facets about it, there's the failure to it. Understand how powerful the mind is. I'm so thankful that I've been given the opportunity to look into the mind, and I can even more thankful I can share it with you. I appreciate it a lot that you're watching it. The importance of the mind, have the ability to realize that we can change. And once you look at it, okay, this is a habit that I've learned, a habit created. It takes a lot. I know myself that when I actually admit to myself, hey, it's not a failure and I have to deny it. It's a failure to grow, like a leaping block to get to the next thing. Otherwise, we can look at failure as a wall. I keep hitting it, and stuck. I can't get anywhere. And really, that wall, you feel like getting harder and harder. And the bottom line is that wall is there and stopping you going further. The wall's no good to anyone else. It's only you. It's your wall. So if you want to move forward, okay, what do I need to do to get on top of the wall and move forward? So we can look at it in a positive way. It's like, whoa. So now that wall there that I created, I can turn it into positive and use it as a leaping block to go forward, to be an even better person. So I know myself, it's like you feel this heavy, very weight on your shoulders. And maybe it restricts your breathing. It can affect you in so many different ways. I feel like you failed. Oh, look, I can't do that. Oh, I'm going to try this. And I was a very, very successful engineer in Australia. I came to America and I thought, wow, I'm just going to carry my success with me. I tried mortgages. I tried this and I tried that. I didn't get the success I thought I was instantly going to get. And carried it with me that this failure is just, it's the be or an end all. But then I realized, hey, this failure is telling me and helping me work out my strengths and the areas that I really like to work on and the areas that, hey, it's not. So we could say, oh, I'm going to try another business venture, but I could fail. Yes, you can fail. More than likely you may. But what do we care? We learn from it and we can grow. So what do we do just then? We turn that failure into a positive. So actually getting credit in a sense for that failure to help get you where you want. Instead of, okay, that failure is going to keep me down. So you're going to keep adding more and more negative to that failure. So we've been really blessed with the ability to use failure as a very productive part in our life. When you come down, and it takes time to analyze it and realize that I don't need to carry this burden, this heavy weight of failure and let it destroy me. And realize that this is actually affecting my confidence. And more than likely, it can affect you in many, many ways. It can affect the way you even speak. I know myself, it's like when you feel like the failure, the words come out of your mouth in a very negative context. As where, hold on, failure is actually a thing that I can learn from. And the more I start talking positive and being more thankful, it completely changes every aspect of your life. It's so beautiful how it works. Now, if we look at failure as a positive, it enhances our life. We look at failure as a negative, oh well, can do the opposite. So, but I like to keep focusing on the positive. So I like to use a very important example. It's like when you're driving, you look through the very big window in the front to see, look ahead. But we're given a little mirror on the side so we can look and see behind us. And why do we need to look and see behind? To keep an eye on our past and realize that that past can help us grow as well. And it's like driving. If you don't look behind, you don't know what's happening behind you. It just gives you a guide. It's not like you're going to look in it the whole time because you're going forward. You want to keep going forward. You want to know what's around. So you can look in our past of the experience. Like, okay, I did it this way and it didn't come out. What do I need to do to change it? What do I need to fine tune it? Maybe I have to try it a completely different way. It's the most beautiful gift we're given. Should be very thankful for it. And the more we focus on the failure, the more we're going to get it. We're going to cement it more into our minds. But thank God we have been given neuroplasticity and we were given the blessings to change it. Open our mind up. So now, like driving through the car, we're going from point A to point B. If we have no idea, we'd just be, randomly going all over the place. But when you leave from where you are here and you want to go to somewhere, you want to visit somebody, you want to go on a journey, you want to go to work, whatever it is, there's a set target. Let's focus on the goal. Move the body and mind and energy into that one area and shift it from that failure to knowing a goal. And what does that do? It helps your self-confidence, unbelievable. Instead of holding that heavy weight, I know myself, it's like, okay, I'm going to focus on this. And all of a sudden it's like the cloud is just lowering itself. The body is happy to stand up. So much more energy comes back. The amount of energy that when you feel bad about yourself, it just feels like it sucks out of you. You get tired, you got lack of motivation. But when you're focusing and feel good, it's almost like you've got a boost of energy. It's so beautiful how that happens. And I think one of the most important things is to realize that we could go quite easily, it was this, if I did this job, and if I had this person, if I had this money, and if I had this, and blame, look at all these things around us. But what the bottom line is what? They were put there for a good reason, to help us be a better person, help us grow. So what does that really mean? We've got to focus on changing our insides, our internals. And the more that we can work on changing our mindset, our beliefs, and our goals, instead of playing a record, I know we can get locked into it. It's like, oh, it just failed again and again, and get locked in. Then what are we playing? That song that we don't want. And if we change it to a positive of looking forward to it, growth opportunities, a new venture, an excitement. No, we quite often get sick of eating the same thing day in and day out. But we want to try something new to get that excitement back. Or why can't we think of it the same way in business? Oh, that's a failure. No, I'm just going to change something different. Might create more excitement. We could just change little things, the way you write things down, the different programs you use, the different way, change little schedules, just to break up the little feeling stuck. Maybe it could be as simple as taking some deep breaths or walking out of the room and coming back in and feeling more comfortable to try again. Break the being locked into that I'm a failure, lack of self-confidence. Okay, you may have lack of self-confidence, but guess what? We were blessed to have the ability to change it. And can we change it because we got lack of money? Because this one person? No. Where does it all have to keep from inside? We have to make the decision that we want to change. And we want to enhance our life. We want to make ourselves feel better. These things do take time. And the beautiful thing is it may take time, but it's like a journey. And each, like trying to go from point A to point B, each mile or each half a mile or each bit of time you go there, even though you may be stuck in traffic, it's going to take me a long time. But guess what? That stuck in traffic is still getting you to your destiny. So if we look at it as each step is slowly getting us to our destiny, and just being open to listening and hearing what's around us so we can focus in, it can help our self-esteem so much. Our self-confidence of realizing, wow, I'm seeing the changes. Yes, it may be stuck in this hard spot at the moment, but to get stuck in that hard spot, that means we've had to shift from one spot into there. So instead of saying, I'm stuck in a hard spot right now, find another thing and say, wow, this is a beautiful opportunity that I've actually grown, that I can actually grow from it, find the positive out of it. So let's recap. There's really 4 main points that I want to share with you. The first is we can learn and grow from failures. We can improve ourselves, we can improve our life. Second is instead of looking at failure and lack of self-confidence and instilling it and then holding it in that we don't want, look at it as a positive. Okay, this is where I am now. I know exactly where I am now. Remember the window, we look forward. To go forward and we've got a rear vision mirror, but right now we're sitting in the driver's seat, so I have the choice now to look forward and turn it into a positive. And one of the important things, like driving down the road, is to where you're going to focus on the goal, focus on where you want to go, to have the mind orientated, focusing, believing this is where we're going to go. And doesn't mean we can't fine tune it, but you still want to go there. Like if there's a traffic jam, we've got to go around somewhere other way. Whatever it is, there's many choices. And most important of all, I believe, is realizing the circumstances on the outside we have no control over, but we can change our insides with the ability to change our emotions. So the most important one is to change our insides. One thing that we do have a lot of control over is how we react to situations, our emotions, our thoughts to it. So the more that we can work on changing our thoughts and our emotions from being defeated and negative, lack of self-confidence to, okay, I'm going to work on this. I have a choice. I can change my emotions. I can change my thoughts. I can change my belief. Can I change what's out there? The only way I can change that is by working on myself. We can look at things in a different way. We can get into different situations. We become more magnetic to attracting more what we want. If we're busy working on what we don't want, we're going to actually find that in our life. So let's choose the goals we want. Bring in the people we want through our emotions and our energies. It's very, very productive. For sticking around to the end, I'd like to thank you very much. Secondly, we've got some spots open up for one-on-one. These one-on-one gives me a chance to probe and work out what I can do to help you reach your goals, help you with your confidence, help you realize that these failures and the weak points could be actually your strongest points of all. and able to help you grow to your goals and your potentials. There'll be an email link in the description below. Email saying, yes please, I'm looking forward to the free one-on-one consultation. We'll get back to you as soon as we can. And if you haven't already, hit the like button. Please do that. Also want to thank you for staying around to the end. And if you haven't subscribed, hit the subscribe button.